Hey y'all, welcome to Cooking on the Farm. I'm Rachel, and today we're introducing two little new babies for you. These are two babies that we hatched in the house in the incubator. Their mamas are the black hens that we showed you a while ago that we got from our friend Jamie, and their daddy, of course, is Dynamite, our big rooster. I'm gonna let them go and put them in the coop, and then we're gonna head in the house and make some pie crust. Make some food. Hey y'all, welcome to Cooking on the Farm. I'm going to make a delicious pie crust. Everyone always goes, my grandma's is the best. Well, my mama's is the best. So your dry ingredients, 3 cups flour, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Those are your dry ingredients. In a saucepan, you're going to put 1/2 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of veggie oil or olive oil, and 1/2 cup of milk. All right, so let's start with mixing it all together. All right, I gotta put my salt in, give this guy a quick whisk. All right, now I'm gonna add my 1/4 cup of olive oil. And my 1/2 cup of milk. And you just want this to get warm. It doesn't need to be boiling. Don't boil it actually. You just want everything to kind of melt together. My butter's almost done. All right, this is where you remove your rings because it gets a little messy, but I'm wearing my rubber ring, so I don't have to worry about it. All right, I'm gonna make kind of a little well here with my spatula. All right, so I'm not gonna dump all of this in. I'm gonna dump probably all but a couple tablespoons. I start this with my spatula and then I clean it off and go in with my hands. So I kind of make a claw like this and use my knuckles to scrape the sides. And I don't wanna like knead this because this does not need to be kneaded. It doesn't need to be kneaded. All right, and then I kind of, once it's pretty much all in little pea shape, I'll grab a handful and I'll kind of press it. And it's still pretty dry down here in the bottom. So I'm gonna do a teeny bit more. I probably have just a shy tablespoon. So I'm gonna kind of work under the ball that I made and then work it all together. Nope, still dry. I'm gonna use the rest. All right, there we go. All right, now I'm gonna get some plastic wrap and I'm gonna wrap this guy up. So I've got all mine in a bowl. If you have tons of little stuff down here, you can sprinkle in a few drops of milk until it all comes together. All right, I'm gonna put this on my plastic wrap. Kind of squash it down. I probably should have gotten a bigger piece. Oh well. All right, put it back in your bowl. And our oldest, I would say, all right, we're gonna let the dough rest. And he goes, oh, does it need a night-night story? And he would tell it a story. I'm gonna take out my dough. It had a good old nap. And I'm gonna take about 3/4 of it. All right, put this guy back to rest. So, this is a very, very, very forgiving dough. I have rolled it out, re-rolled it. It's very forgiving. If you can't do crust, try this guy. Then if you have problems, send me a message and we'll work through it together. All right, so I am just gonna start rolling this guy out until he's about 1/4 inch or less. And we're just gonna keep going. So when you're rolling out dough, whether it's cookie dough, pie crust, whatever. Don't come off the edge like this and go around. Start in your center and work outward. Because if you roll off your edge, it's gonna make your edges go down and they'll burn, especially if it's a cookie dough. So you can go off your edge, but do it this way. I have kind of a domey right here. And if you need to measure like how big, you take your pie pan, you set it on there, either direction, like I got a ways to go. So you can keep measuring it that way. All right, that looks about right. So this is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna lift this off. If it rips, like I said, it's super forgiving. Okay, I'm gonna take this layer off. And you can do your best to try to center it. You know, this is a little bit thicker than I thought it was until I lifted it. And you just kind of cram it in. Like I said, this is super forgiving. If it rips, just repatch it. It's amazing. All right, so then you can take a fork or a knife and just do a few little blops on the bottom to get some air holes. A little patch right there. All right, guys, got my top crust. I'm gonna roll this guy out. So same thing, just start rolling. And if it doesn't seem to be enough, you can steal from the bottom also to make it, you know, to fit. I do a lot of patchwork. I'm not a very good estimator on circles. When I was taking horseback riding lessons, my instructor was always like, make a circle. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, that looks like a kidney. Sorry. So this is how you make my pie crust. I've used this crust for apple pie, pecan pie, pumpkin pie. I have made it for chicken pot pie and it was so delicious. See you next time on Cooking on the Farm. You can sprinkle in just a few drops of butter until it, so I start this with my spatula.
Ouch. Okay. Go ahead.
Plop it over there. Woo, don't fall on the floor. Stay. I've even made it for, what's that thing that you like? Chicken wing. I have